Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Quori-Tyler, aka QT, aka Books with QT, and in today's video I am reading only Kindle Unlimited books for a week. Nervous to do this video because I haven't checked the books that Kindle Unlimited has available in quite some time because I've been a physical book girly for the last few months. So I'm scared to get into this and then not find good books, fall into a reading slump, which actually I'm already in a reading slump, so I'm hoping this helps get me out of it. But anyways, and so I don't know what's on there right now, and I'm scared that I might not find some books that I'm really interested in. So with all of that being said, I think this is a crazy time for me to be doing a challenge like this, but also really fun because now you'll know if the books on Kindle Unlimited are actually worth getting the Kindle Unlimited subscription. If you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, it's basically a subscription that I think is about $5 to $7 a month where you can read any of the Kindle Unlimited books on your Kindle for free, which is amazing because any one single book costs triple that amount usually. But I think why people hesitate to get Kindle Unlimited sometimes is because they don't think that popular book talkish kind of books are on there. So I'm making this video to see if that theory is true or not. I will say I started my first book already when I was on the plane coming home from Florida a few days ago, and it is the Zodiac Academy. I've heard great things about this series. I believe the whole series is on Kindle Unlimited, which I think is really cool because if you started on Kindle Unlimited, you can finish it on there as well if you don't want to actually buy all of the books because it's a pretty long series. I'm only about 18% into it, so I'm hoping to get more done today. It's a pretty fast-paced book, so now that I'm really in it and they're actually at the Zodiac Academy, I think the first part took me a little bit to get in, but now that they're at the Zodiac Academy, I'm really enjoying it. Also, I'm really sick, so I'm sorry that my voice sounds a little bit hoarse. It's because it is. Okay, my camera died on that last clip when I was in the car, but I think you get the point. Let's just start the video. Okay guys, so I'm at the Americana in Glendale and I'm going to Barnes & Noble. I know this whole video is dedicated to Kindle books, but I'm curious, I haven't been to Barnes & Noble in a while. I'm curious what new is on the shelf. So I might get a book, might not. I left my Kindle in my car and I don't feel like walking back to get it right now because it's so far. I'm gonna see if they have the book that I'm reading on the Kindle in Barnes & Noble, and then maybe I can just read it a little bit in Barnes & Noble. Okay, I made it into Barnes & Noble. My hair looks crazy. The wind just like knocked it out of me. Going upstairs to see if they have, what's the name of the book I'm reading? Zodiac Academy. I just feel like this is a fun place to read. Fingers crossed they have it, but I feel like it might be an older series, so I don't know if they will or not. We'll see. Okay, I'm in the young adult section. I'm in the young adult fantasy section. I think it might be here. Is it a YA book? I'm like not 100% sure what I'm reading. Unfortunately, they might not have it. You guys, they have it. It's much bigger than I expected. Seeing a book in person that you've been reading on Kindle is such a crazy experience. It's very like a long. Girlies. Wow, I've unlocked a new little setup and I kind of like this camera angle. This has literally become a full-on coffee bar station and I'm not sure how we got here. This is my Breville coffee maker. This is my mom's Nespresso, and then Nespresso just sent me yesterday. They just sent me a new machine, their new Virtual Pop Plus machine. I like actually can't believe it, but if you know us, we are coffee connoisseurs in this house. So, and then I have all the little espresso pods. Okay, but this is not a coffee video, so let's talk about what we came to talk about. I'm gonna make my coffee and talk about the first 50% of the Zodiac Academy. Okay, so if I'm being like 100% completely honest, it's taking me longer to read this book than I want it to, and it's just like my life is so insane right now. I have so much to do at all times of the day, so I'm never able to like really just hone in and focus on reading. But okay, but like I was saying, we're finally getting to some good parts. This is so loud, give me a second. Okay, I think that it's going to be so meaningful, the whole setup. Because this is such a long series and the books are so big, I think the setup of the first like 35 to 40% of this first book, that was maybe a little bit dragged out, long, slightly boring to me. I think it's going to be worth it for the rest of the book, because now we're 50% in and I'm fully understanding like why these two girls are at the Zodiac Academy, what's starting to go on with the other people, why people don't like them. The secrets are being revealed about their past and their parents. They're trying to come to understand this new world, and us as the readers are also trying to understand the new world, and I feel like we're kind of in this together, which I like. I will say, I'm getting a little confused. So each chapter is through a different sister's perspective. There's Darcy, and each chapter is either through Darcy or Tori's perspective. And I will say that sometimes I'm in the middle of the chapter and I'm like, wait, am I in Darcy's POV or Tori's POV? So that's a little bit confusing because they both are very similar. I mean, they're twins. So I don't know. I'm not seeing much of a distinction between the two sisters yet. I really like how we're finding out about like all the houses and how the Zodiacs come into play. So yeah, this whole first book just seems like it's going to be a lot of us with Darcy and Tori, our main characters, figuring out the lore of the Zodiac Academy. And I'll come back and update you whenever there's something of interest. Perfection. Absolute perfection. All right, see. Okay, you guys, I look absolutely crazy right now, but I just finished the Zodiac Academy. It's literally 10 o'clock at night, and I honestly did not love it. I thought that at some point things were gonna change and there's gonna be major plot twists or something that was really gonna like pull me in, but I got up to like 85% and I put this on my Instagram story. I was like, does it get better? Because I'm not understanding the hype right now. And ultimately I ended the book still not understanding it. I gave it a 3 stars. I can't even fake like a 3.5 or 3.75, anything like that. It fell flat for me. The writing was a little bit clunky. The storyline didn't really go anywhere. Like we didn't get any big reveals like I would have wanted to. I felt like everything was pretty predictable. And it was just like all leading up to the thing that you knew it was leading up to, but nothing surprised me or made me feel like I wasn't anticipating what was happening. I thought some of the plot points were like a little bit weird. There's a little bit of something going on with the teacher that I didn't really love. I told you guys earlier, I kept getting confused between the Tori chapters and Darcy chapters. I felt like the two sisters, I still can't tell the difference. They both have their own separate love interests, but I was getting that confused even. Like everything was just, I just felt confused most of the time reading this. I'd probably give the second book a chance, but not right now. I'm not like dying to jump into the next one. I did see a lot of TikToks where people had similar feelings and they said the first like 1 to 2 books were like, but you just keep reading it to keep reading it. And then all of a sudden at the third one, it gets really good. I just don't know if I have enough energy to get there as of right now. But now I want to look for my next read. I'm just gonna go to like the little homepage thing where it recommends stuff for you and see what we got. I really want a contemporary romance. I feel like I can't put myself into another fantasy right now. I just can't. Literally all of the Zodiac Academy books are on here. Lots of Frida McFadden too, which Frida McFadden would be a good quick read, but it's nighttime right now and I can't do scary books at night. I feel like they're recommending me a lot of fantasies because that's what I've been reading a lot lately. Ooh, okay, we have Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and I have heard a lot of good things about that one. I've never read a Julie Soto book. They have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. That is a book that's on my radar, but I think it has a pretty deep storyline, and I don't know if I can go there right now. I don't want to be emotional. I just want to like be lighthearted. Okay, there's a hockey romance on here called Shoot Your Shot, a hockey rom-com. It only has 100 reviews. I think I'm gonna do it. This is what we're looking at right now. I think I'm gonna do it. Read now. We're doing it. I'll catch up with you tomorrow, but I'm gonna start it and fall asleep to it probably right now. I finished reading Shoot Your Shot, and honestly, loved the vibes that we were getting with that book. It was a very nice palate cleanser. I read it pretty quickly. Like, nothing to write home about, but also not a bad book. I'd give it a 3.5. I feel like sometimes in contemporary romance books, sports romances, things like that, we get a lot of unnecessary scenes or things that I feel like don't really need to be in the book. They just feel like fluff. I really do feel like with this one, every scene meant something to our overall plot of the books. I love the two main characters, like just a good book. You know when you just read a good book? Now, we need to find our next read, and this is gonna be our final read. I'm gonna look on Goodreads. They have a section where you can see only like Kindle Unlimited books. I'm thinking about doing a mystery thriller. I want something that I can read pretty quickly. I'm actually in the middle of another book as well that I'm reading for our book club book, but that's gonna be in another video, so I won't really talk about that. So I want something that's gonna be quick and like it's just a nice addition to the romance book I'm already reading. Or actually, you know what? I have the Kindle app. Maybe I should be going to the Kindle app and not Goodreads. Let's sit down. Okay. They make a section where it's books you may like, and it's based on things that you've already read. So honestly, a lot of them are books that are like the second in a series. I heard Not Another Love Song was good. That's an option, but I think it's a long book. I want something pretty short. Let's see if we can find a mystery one specifically. It doesn't show me only Kindle Unlimited, but all the Kindle Unlimited books do have a little Kindle Unlimited title on top of them, so I feel happy. The Crash, that's a new Frida McFadden book. All of Frida McFadden books are on Kindle Unlimited. I'm kind of interested in what this is. Still Beating. Okay, apparently there's some triggers, so check trigger warnings. I don't know if I'm interested in a book right now that has triggers. Okay, Listen for the Lie could be interesting too. I heard this is a good book. Let's see how many pages it is. 338 pages. Okay, wait, that's not bad. I might do Listen for the Lie. This has been on my 2025 TBR. I think I'm gonna do this. It reminds me of another book I read, None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, because it's very podcasty. So read for free. I love it. That's the other great thing about Kindle is that you could read Kindle Unlimited books on more than just a Kindle. You can read it on an iPad, computer, iPhone, whatever it is you want. So I'm gonna get started, and I'll come back when I have something to update you guys on. I'm excited about this. I feel like this is gonna be a good read. Cuties. Okay, so, oh, look at my little cutie right there. I'm about 45% into Listen for the Lie, and honestly loving it so far. Very fast-paced read. I'm getting through it really quickly. When I sit there and read, I'm able to read like 20% in one sitting, which is really nice. I will say, I feel like right now where I'm at, I'm hoping once we hit the 50% mark, something crazy happens, there's a big twist or something, because it's kind of just mundane, and like we understand that she doesn't know whether or not she killed her best friend. Now I need some things to start coming up, and nothing has come up yet that's been of like real substance for me to be like, ooh, tantalizing, I wonder what's really happening. I'm hoping once I hit the exact 50% mark, that starts happening. But overall, great book so far, enjoying the vibes. I'm gonna continue reading, hopefully get through a lot today and possibly finish. I think I'll finish tomorrow actually, but we'll see. Talk to you when there's more. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I want our main character to be with the podcaster really badly. Like, it's giving me romance book vibe. Hey cuties, we are at the finale of this video. I've had so much fun reading Kindle Unlimited book. I'm a huge fan of Kindle Unlimited, honestly. When I first started my reading journey, I got a Kindle and downloaded Kindle Unlimited and was only reading books on my Kindle Unlimited because I didn't want to buy books. I didn't want to spend the money on something that I wasn't quite sure if I was going to enjoy. And I feel like we really got a plethora of emotions throughout this video. We had Zodiac Academy, which I didn't really like, but it is a popular book and a series, so that just proves you can read series on Kindle Unlimited. We had a book that I had never heard of and discovered through Kindle Unlimited, but ended up really enjoying with Shoot Your Shot. And then we had a book that I 1000% enjoyed, and that was our last book, Listen for the Lie. I ended up giving Listen for the Lie a 4 stars. I don't read a lot of mystery thrillers, so I tend to rate them pretty high because when I do read them, I feel like they're very action-packed. I'm able to read them a lot faster than I do a romance or fiction book, and Listen for the Lie was no different. I felt like the whole time I was really getting thrown on who it was, and there were so many different characters that could have been the killer, and I just feel like that makes for a very interesting mystery book. The only thing I will say is, I think I talked about this already in this video, but by the time it got to like the 30% mark, I was kind of like, okay, like everything's just leading to nothing. Like I want some plot twist thrown, or I want our main character to remember something, because in the book she has amnesia from the day that her best friend was killed. So she doesn't remember what happens. That's why she doesn't know if she killed her or someone else did. So I was like, I need her to unlock some kind of memory. But then at about like 70%, she starts unlocking memories, and that's when the book, I feel like, gets really good. We're able to finally put puzzle pieces together because our main character is able to see glimpses of what happened that day, but you don't get the full picture. So you're creating a narrative in your own mind, and then later on you do get the full picture from what happened during that time. And I thought it was really good. Yeah, I just thought it was a good mystery thriller, like one that I would definitely recommend. I hear that the audiobook for Listen for the Lie is so good, and people like that even more than reading the book. Based on how much I loved reading it, I'd also recommend probably listening to the audio. And those are the 3 books that we read on my dear Kindle here in this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Oh, before we end, I have some Kindle Unlimited recommendations for you from books that I've read throughout the years on Kindle Unlimited. I'm just gonna give you a quick 4. If you want more, follow me on Instagram at bookswithqt, or on my TikTok at bookswithqt, because I post a lot of recommendations on there. Okay, so for a romance book, I'd recommend Real by Kennedy Ryan, one of my favorite authors, and it's just a beautiful story. I didn't even realize it was on Kindle Unlimited. I read it in a physical book, but being that it's on Kindle Unlimited, I highly recommend it. A country romance I'd recommend is Done and Dusted. I feel like for the springtime and summer, it's perfect to get into a country cowboy romance, and Done and Dusted by Lila Sage is an amazing way to start. It's a very quick, fast-paced book. The romance, oh my gosh, is beautiful, and everything just happens. It's like very like hot and heavy. Everything happens fast, quick. All the good stuff that you look for in a romance book, just based in a country setting. So I'd recommend. I think the whole series is on there. It's an interconnected series, so you don't have to read the whole thing. But another mystery that I'd recommend is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. The Housemaid is becoming a movie, so I feel like this is the perfect time to read that book. It's the movie that's going to be starring Sydney Sweeney, and I always think it's fun to read the book before you watch the movie and then see like what changes they make and all of that stuff. Very good book. That one, the plot twists are crazy in there. And then a random magical realism book, The Dinner List by my queen, Rebecca Searle. I love Rebecca Searle so much. I think she doesn't get talked about nearly as much as she should. And it's about this girl whose idol is Audrey Hepburn. She just is obsessed with Audrey Hepburn. She goes to dinner with a bunch of her friends for her birthday, and Audrey Hepburn is at the table. So obviously that's where the magical realism comes in, because Audrey Hepburn cannot actually be at her table. The whole book is set at this one dinner, and there's a whole journey that she kind of takes of finding herself, and interesting things happen, but I definitely recommend that book. That's all I got for you now. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the comments of this video, put your Kindle Unlimited recommendations. That way we can help people in the comments. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.